The tension between Kalie and Amber continued to build, a steady, simmering presence that neither of them acknowledged outright. It was there in the lingering glances, in the casual touches that lasted a second too long, in the way Amber's lips curled into a knowing smirk whenever Kalie pretended not to notice her. It was an unspoken dance, a game of push and pull, and despite herself, Kalie found she was losing ground. Amber had a knack for slipping under her defences. She never crossed a line, never did anything that could be called outright inappropriate, but her presence was impossible to ignore. She was always just close enough, always looking at Kalie like she was waiting for something. Kalie felt like she was being hunted in the most subtle, patient way possible. It wasn't as though Amber did anything overtly flirtatious. It was just the little things. The way she stood close enough that Kalie could smell her shampoo, a fresh, earthy scent that made her stomach tighten. The way she spoke, her voice low and smooth, wrapping around Kalie like a velvet ribbon. The way her green eyes lingered, as if she saw everything Kalie was trying to hide. Kalie told herself she was imagining it, that she was reading too much into casual interactions, that Amber was just friendly, just confident in a way Kalie wasn't used to. But deep down, she knew better. "You always look like you're thinking too hard," Amber said. "That's because I actually have things to think about," Kalie replied. "Oh, I don't doubt that. I just wonder if you ever take a break from it." Kalie questioned her. "From what?" Amber responded. "From keeping yourself so contained." Kalie said defensively, "I have no idea what you mean." "All right, I'll let you be then." Then Amber left. The shift that changed everything happened on a quiet evening, long after most of the crew had gone for the day. Kalie had stayed behind, finishing up paperwork, when Amber appeared in the doorway of the office. "You should go home. It's late," Amber suggested. "I just have a few more things to finish," Kalie replied. Amber proclaimed, "You always have a few more things to finish." Kalie responded defensively, "And you always seem to have an opinion on my work habits." "Only because I don't think you actually enjoy working late. I think you're avoiding something," Amber suggested. "I have no idea what you mean," Kalie replied sarcastically. Amber chuckled. "Okay." It caused a spark to course through Kalie's body. Amber's fingers lingered just a heartbeat too long before she withdrew, composed, steady, but her eyes burned. Kalie parted her lips to speak, to say something, anything, but before she could, Amber closed the distance and kissed her. It wasn't a demanding kiss. It wasn't forceful or rushed. It was slow, deliberate, like Amber was giving Kalie time to react, to pull away if she wanted to. But Kalie didn't pull away. She went rigid, every nerve in her body sparking to life, her thoughts scattering. Amber's lips were soft, warm, moving against hers with a quiet confidence that left Kalie light-headed. Then, just as suddenly as it began, Amber pulled back. She didn't speak. No apology, no explanation, no expectation. She simply held Kalie's gaze for a lingering moment, a knowing smile playing on her lips. Then, without a word, she turned and walked out, leaving Kalie frozen in place, breathless and delirious. The next morning, Kalie woke with the memory of the kiss burnt into her mind. Did it mean anything? Was Amber just testing the waters, pushing a boundary to see how Kalie would react? The problem was, Kalie didn't know how to respond. She had spent so long hiding her feelings that now, confronted with unwavering proof of Amber's interest, she was completely stunned. She considered avoiding Amber entirely, but that was impossible. They worked in the same space. Avoiding her would only make things more obvious. So she did what she did best, acted as if nothing had happened. Amber, for her part, didn't push. She never mentioned the kiss, never asked how Kalie felt about it, and never treated her any differently. She simply carried on, calm and unbothered, as if she had all the time in the world for Kalie to sort herself out. And that was the worst part. No matter how hard she tried, Kalie couldn't push it from her mind. The moment replayed over and over. It had felt right, too right. And that was what scared Kalie the most. Because if she let herself want this, if she let herself want Amber, there would be no taking it back, and she wasn't sure she was ready for that. Days passed, and the tension between them only grew thicker. Amber remained patient, watching, waiting, never pushing, but never pulling away either. It was a silent challenge, one that Kalie wasn't sure she could ignore forever, and deep down, she wasn't sure she wanted to.